Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we will be doing a trade recap. This trade recap is also going to be like a mini lesson, right? So, let's get right into it. Just for starters, here's my executions from today. And let's dive right into it, right? So, on my big screen here on the left, I'm going to have YM. On the bottom right, I'm going to have NQ. Here, I'm going to have ES. Let me replay price here. All right. So coming here, right, at the end of the 9 o'clock hour, what do we see? Well, we have completely decoupled markets with ES staying stuck in between. YM rating that low and NQ rating this low. We have SMT on both sides of the range with the markets completely decoupled, right? So now, Jay, how do I position myself and how do I know whether this SMT is going to be used to trade YM higher and NQ higher, or is it going to be used to trade YM lower and NQ lower? Now, the game is all about waiting and having triggers. So you see our first stage of SMT right here with YM is our bearish scenario. We have this candle right here, which when it closes, it is now used as a bullish or bearish PSP. Now, what is the ideal scenario? Well, you want to see this PSP get two-staged to then give that trigger to either go long or short. Now, this PSP could have gotten two-staged on the highs for YM, or NQ could have two-staged it, on the lows, and then we could have continued higher, right, towards this high. Now, let's watch and play through price what happens. That's our first 5-minute candle. What do we see? We have that two-stage SMT now. YM starts to reverse. And what does NQ start to do? It starts to lag. Now, if you refer to the tweet I made yesterday, which kind of explained a little bit how the leading asset now turns to the lagging, right? So now I want to see this asset do two things, either retrace or consolidate, while the lagging asset turns leading and then trades towards that SMT level that we had, these lows that NQ had manipulated already and YM had not, and trade this to break the SMT that NQ had made, right? So then, Jaden, how do I know which asset to trade? Which asset is the strongest? Which asset is the weakest? Which asset is the strongest to the downside? It's simply whichever one meets either of two requirements, and preferably this one is my biggest requirement that it must meet, is which asset starts to form the reversal signatures first. This is the most mechanical way to describe whether an asset is stronger towards a direction, because it is simply moving with more speed and forming PD arrays to support your narrative to trade towards your objective, right? As you see here, NQ is trading into a bullish gap. ES is trading into a bullish gap. What is YM doing? It's forming a change in state of delivery. YM here is the stronger asset to the downside, or the asset that's going to move with speed. Also, when I say stronger, I mean asset that's going to move with speed towards the draw on liquidity, can be either bullish or bearish. So in this scenario, YM is the stronger asset because it's forming the change in state of delivery. So YM is going to be the stronger asset to the downside, right? So then let's play through price here. I actually entered on the open of this candle because, as you see, we have a opening gap here. So this candle right here doesn't actually close below it, but it has an opening gap, and this candle opens right below this change in state of delivery. So I just market enter right there. with my stop at this candle's body. Right there. Put my TP all the way down here. And then I actually trailed my stop and had gotten stopped out here. That's where I hopped off stream. But a couple minutes after, I realized that I was kind of being a little bit aggressive with my stop there. So I actually ended up entering within these candles, pyramiding back in with my position looking something like this and targeting these lows, right? So then now let's watch price play out here and see the reaction here on NQ, how NQ is starting to consolidate while YM now becomes the leading asset. So what is that logic that I just explained to you guys? The leading asset, which was NQ, became lagging, and then the lagging asset, which was YM, then became the leading. This two-stage PSP right here is the true strength switch, and then how you identify which asset you want to trade is whichever asset gets a close above or below those opposing candles first, right? Which is what we saw right here on YM. And as you see, we melt straight towards the draw. We play forward, and then NQ starts to expand away. This was a very, very, very good example today of asset resynchronization and waiting for that proper trigger to trade the in-sync markets. As you see here, then NQ ended up resyncing and trading a bit lower, but never ended up taking that previous day low, which is kind of what I want to see it trade now. What you see is kind of making its way towards that. I really hope a lot of you guys learn a lot from this. If you don't understand it, watch this video back a couple times. We will be dropping a lot more in-depth videos on asset synchronization, and I'll catch you boys later. Peace.